Hi, welcome to another video. So, yesterday, Llama 3.1 was launched. I made a video on it, talking about its benchmarks and everything about the model. But for those who haven't seen it, let me tell you that Meta has launched 3 new models under their Llama banner. This time, it's numbered 3.1. These new models include an 8B variant, a 70B variant, and a 405B variant. The 8B and 70B are newly trained and updated versions of the Llama 3 models, while the 405B model is the new addition. All of these models now have a 128K context limit, which is also quite cool. The 8B and 70B models are compared against Gemma and others, which doesn't say much because Gemma is really bad on its own. However, the 405B model is compared against Claude 3.5, Sonnet, and GPT-4O. They claim it's really on par with them. Also, while I was making the previous video, the pricing was not updated. But now it is. The best pricing here is from Fireworks, where the 8B model costs 20 cents, the 70B costs 90 cents, and the 405B costs $3. The 405B model is available on Meta's own platform for you to try out, while the other models are not available there. I don't know why. But anyway, because they are open source, the models are also available on Hugging Face and Llama. I'll be trying all these models out from the NVIDIA NIMS platform, since it is free to use and super easy as well. I won't be using the Meta platform because it asks me to sign up for a Facebook account, which I won't do, Mark. So, in this video, I'll be testing it with my questions to see if it can really perform. Just like in every video, I'll be testing it with these questions. This time, instead of 9, it's 12 questions. Many people said I made the questions easy, so I have added the old questions back in with the new ones. So, it's going to be a pretty hard test now. I'll be sending the same question to each model one by one, and then we'll proceed to the next question. So now, let's get started with the questions. The first question is, what is the capital city of the country whose name ends with Laya? I'm referring to the country name. The answer to this should be Canberra, or any capital of a country that ends with Leah. Here's the answer from the 8B model, and it doesn't answer correctly. So, this one's a fail. Next, here's the answer from the 70B, and it answers it correctly, but answers for Italia. Anyway, since it's correct, I'll give it a pass. Then, the 405B model also answers the question correctly. So, this one's also a pass. The next question is, what is the number that rhymes with the word we use to describe a tall plant? The answer should be 3, because it rhymes with tree. Here's the answer from the 8B model, and it's correct. So, this one's a pass. The 70B also answered this correctly, and the 405B model also answered this correctly. Now, the next question is, John has 3 boxes of pencils. Each box contains 12 pencils. How many pencils does John have in total? The answer to this should be 36. Here's the answer from 8B, and it answers the question correctly. The 70B also answers it correctly, and the 405B also answers it correctly, as expected. So, all of them are a pass. The next question is, Lucy has twice as many candies as Mike. If Mike has 7 candies, how many candies does Lucy have? Here's the answer from 8B, and this one's correct. The 70B is also correct, and the 405B is also correct. So, all of them have passed. The next question is, I have 2 apples, then I buy 2 more. I bake a pie with 2 of the apples. After eating half of the pie, how many apples do I have left? The answer to this should be 2. Let's send it and check. Here's the answer from the 8B model, and it doesn't answer this question correctly. So, this one's a fail. The 70B model answered it correctly. So, this one's a pass. The 405B model also answered it correctly. So, that's also a pass. The next question is, Sally is a girl. She has 3 brothers. Each of her brothers has the same 2 sisters. How many sisters does Sally have? The answer to this should be 1. Here's the answer from 8B, and it doesn't answer it correctly. So, this one's a fail. The next answer is from 70B, and it also doesn't answer this question correctly. So, this one's also a fail. Now, the 405B model answers this question correctly. So, at least the 405B model can pass this question. I believe the 70B should have been able to answer this question, but it didn't. Also, if you're watching till here, then comment Llama King. Anyway, the next question is, if a regular hexagon has a short diagonal of 64, what is its long diagonal? The answer to this should be 73.9. Here's the answer from 8B, and it doesn't answer this question correctly. So, this one's a fail. The 70B model also fails this question. But the 405B model passes this question as it gives a correct output. So, this one's a pass. The next questions are coding-based. The first one in this category is, create an HTML page with a button that explodes confetti when you click it. You can use CSS and JS as well. Here's the response that the 8B model gave, and it didn't work. It only showed 1 dot and nothing. So, this one's a fail. The 70B model gave this response, and if we run the code, it doesn't work correctly either. It only shows dots and nothing. So, this one's also a fail. The 405B model response is this, and if we preview it, you can see that this works extremely well. So, this one's also a pass. The next question is, create a Python program that prints the next X leap years based on user input. Here's the response from the 8B model, and this one works correctly. So, this one's a pass. Here's the response from the 70B model, and this one works correctly as well. This one's also a pass. The 405B model also answers correctly and works fine as well. So, all of them pass in this as well. The next question is, generate the SVG code for a butterfly. Here's the response from the 8B model, and if we preview it, you can see that it doesn't look anything like a butterfly. The 70B model also produced this response, and previewing it also looks nothing like a butterfly. The 405B model also didn't work well either. The preview of it looks very bad. So, that's also a fail. The next question is, create a landing page for an AI company. The landing page should have 4 sections: header, banner, features, and contact us. Make sure that the landing page looks sleek and modern. You can use HTML, CSS, and JS. Here's the code that the 8B model gave, and previewing it looks fine. It does what it was supposed to. So, this one's a pass. The next answer is from 70B, and previewing it also looks fine. So, this one's also a pass. The next answer is from 405B, and it also looks fine, although I prefer the 70B variant much more. Anyway, this one's also a pass. The next question is, write a game of life in Python that works on the terminal. Here's the answer from the 8B model, and running it also works fine. So, this one's a pass. The 70B model also produced this code, and it also works fine. However, the 405B model doesn't work fine. The generated code from it doesn't work. It just shows blank. So, this one's a fail. I don't know why this happened, but for some reason, it's a fail. Anyway, here's the final chart. As you can see, the 8B model passed in 6 questions out of 12, while the 70B model passed in 8 questions, and the 405B model passed in 10 questions. From what I can conclude, the 8B model is really good considering its size, while the 70B model is not that good since the difference between the 8B and 70B models is really low. However, the 405B model is really good. I have felt that the quality and detail in the responses are really good in the 405B model. The 70B model is not that good in my opinion. The Mistral Nemo 12B is really on par with the 70B model while being 7 times smaller in size. So, there's no use for that model, at least for me. I'd recommend you check out the Nemo model if you're looking for a good model above the 8B size. Anyway, the 8B and 405B are the real winners here. I'll be bringing some more cool videos with it, so stay tuned for that. Overall, these new models are pretty cool. Anyway, let me know your thoughts in the comments. If you liked this video, consider donating to my channel through the Super Thanks option below. Also, give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. I'll see you in the next video. Till then, bye.